This is Teresa Phelps Martin sharing with you Yoga Soul Flow here in the Soulfully You group. I appreciate deeply your presence, your ability to arrive and connect. And connecting to the ability of your truth, that which is buried deep within you, that energy that you contain, that only you have access to, and bringing it forward. And when we bring it forward, we're raw, we're vulnerable. Yet, there's a satisfaction and a fulfillment and a presence that to me is what this life is all about. Today's theme, See It to Be It, is something my daughter shared with me this morning. My parents are saying goodbye to their dog that they've had. That was Willie's brother for 14 years. And it's a big deal because they've gone through a lot of change, and we talk very openly about endings and closure and death. It's an important thing for me as a mom, to not ignore it or pretend that there's no emotions around it, and to keep it in the unspeakable because it needs to be spoken. So when I shared that the end was coming for their beloved pet, my daughter quickly said, "Oh, he doesn't have much life yet left. I must go say goodbye and give him a treat." So we did it, and she was very kind and sweet and said goodbye. We talked about how he was going to be with our dogs, Willie and Sawyer. And then she got in the car, she goes, "But Mom, we have so much life left." And it's so true. And so then she carried on to say, if you can see it, you can be it, which is from a show she watches called Ready, Set, Jet, where characters go into outer space and discover the cosmos. So there's a lot of energy here. And I share this story from this ability that this is it. If you can see within you that you contain an arrangement of energy that only you hold, that only you know of, and what happens is it gets blurred and blinded by the layers and the veils of just being human. But if you can continue to cultivate and connect to the practices of seeing the light within, of being it, of bringing it and reflecting it out into the world, then we're on track. Then we're living authentically aligned. We're living from our soul's purpose and promise. So today the energy is very fixed. It's very strong. It's very persistent, stubborn, if you will. It's also very detached. So there's also a lot of energy to think big and to not get caught up in the how or the should or could or the maybe, but to really envision, to see it, to see that potential, to see your future, to see the bigness and the beauty and the brilliance you can bring forward. And when you can tap into that bigness and that beauty and that brilliance, then you begin to take the steps that are in alignment with them. What happens is that everybody else we're sharing this life with has the same veils and the limitations projected upon them. And so for them to give evidence to their lack of potential or accessibility, they then will tell us it's not possible. So in this fixed energy, we can get fixated on things that aren't true. We can get fixated on the pain and the anger. We can get fixated on the hopes and dreams. We can get fixated on our security and our safety. And all these things are important, right? There's none that are better than the other. So when we move today, I want you, or I'm going to encourage you, or I invite you to be fixated on your presence that's steady, that is full of hopes and dreams, that craves a sense of security, that desires a sense of pleasure, that wants to give form and structure to the beauty that is sacred within you, and to trust that you are unique. And it may still be hard to find your people that understand you, but we can live and move for that energy of connection and community at a much larger level. Okay, deep thoughts brought to you by yours truly. But in this shift of declaring this group Soulfully You, and declaring the work that I do, being a yoga soul coach, is to help you embody the truth of you, your essence, and the flavor that is unique to you. So I might as well be unique to me. Doesn't help the fact that all this energy is also tapping into my fixatedness in being exactly who I am. And there's a depth and a strength to transformation that I bring. So let's do it on the mat. And in the physiological energy, we're going to be connecting with the nervous system. We're going to be connecting with the ability to insulate. So if you can see it, if you can see your intention, if you can see the actions you want to take to step more in alignment with that nugget of your own spark of divinity, then we want to hold it and enclose it and give it the container. So we're going to be very muscular today, very linear. So our nerves that run through our whole being can feel held in the vision that we're going to continue to be. All right, so we're going to start standing. And again, I thank you for being here live or on the replay. It means more to me than maybe I can even articulate. I know my words typically just come in when I'm in that very Mars motivated physicality zone, which I am in. So just know that this is in service of your highest good and that you have authority. So as we move today, you determine how is it of service to your soul, and we'll choose mindfully together. As you stand at the top edge of your mat, come to your foundation, the foundation of your home, the walls, the space in which you're practicing, your feet, your legs, your hips, your shoulders, the crown of the head, the edges of your fingertips. Feel the structure of your being, hands together at your heart, Anjali Mudra. Sorry, I said heart. Bring them to the center of your forehead. Allow the eyes to close and connect with the breath. Connect with that horizontal line of being able to see the bigger picture, the bigger version of yourself. See the pain and the sacred depth and the darkness surrounded by the greatness of light of your hopes and dreams, your visions. See yourself connected with like-minded individuals that want to bring forward the dreams of your heart, the hopes of your soul, the collective energy of consciousness. Allow for that celebration and be present with this energy within you. That at this moment in time, we are transitioning from the illumination of what needs to be healed and how we can plant the seeds to trust in the security of our own soul to be of service to the greater good. Connect to your own center and bring your hands to your heart. Draw the shoulders into the back body. Draw the waistline back. As your thigh bones move back, wrap your outer hips to hold the energy of your depth. Plant roots into the soil of the earth to stand strong, but know that in this vision, you can see yourself over the course of this practice, this time on your mat, to really receive the energy of you, to be more fully aligned with all that you are, just as you are. And so it is. Big full breath in. Bend your knees, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Touch the earth and then open your eyes, looking to the ground, looking to the foundation which holds you, the physical earth, but also your mat and your home and your body. Hands to your shins. Inhale, find length. Notice how you've been using your physical being this time of year, working with the soil of you and being persistent. Because if you're here right now, your persistence is showing up. Exhale, bow. Get fixated on the breath. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, folding. And I'm not going to do any particular number. I'm really going to be guided and guide you through the wisdom of connecting to that depth to come forward. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, bow. Hands come to the earth. Giant step back with the left foot. Find fingertips. Keep the hands on the ground. Find the lunge of your legs. Draw into the belly and pause here. As you're on your fingertips, and if it's hard for your hands to touch the earth, bring your hands to your top thigh. Lift the belly in, shoulders drawn to the back. 3 more breaths here. Just being with what's real, being with what your presence is providing. And then exhale, the left hand all the way to the earth, shoulders to the back. Stretch your right arm by your ear. We're going to peek under the arm. We're going to peek into our potential. Find length through the spine. So from the roof of the mouth, the diaphragm, the pelvic floor, make a strong connection to that center line. Inhaling all the way in. Exhaling all the way out. Hand comes to the earth, back knee to the ground, straighten the front leg and flex the foot. So we're just getting into our legs. We're getting into that which connects us to this planet. Breathing all the way in. And all the way out. Feeling the flex of your foot, the heel anchored, calf lifted, and outer hip drawn back to ignite the core, and then find the length through the spine. As soon as that spine grows long, your hamstring is going to talk louder. And then as you exhale, come onto your hands and knees. Find all fours. Exhale, round the back. Pull the belly in, chin to your chest. Thighs move back, heart sweeps forward. Big full breath in, and then exhale into child's pose. Come all the way to the ground. Head to the earth, or on your hands, or palms turned up. Breathe in to the vision of you standing at the top of your mat, full of your light. And that even as we come down to the earth, you see yourself being more fully aligned with the truth of your heart and soul. Stretch the hands out. Inhale, rise up onto your hands and knees. Feel the connection to your core. Stretch the left leg back. Right foot goes wide. Stretch the left arm by your ear. So shoulders are drawing in. Connection to the core. Bring your hand to the top of your head. And as you feel the palm on the head connect to the pelvic floor, connect to that center line and align to you. the energy of you, and then expand the arm. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Exhale the hand to the earth, both knees to the ground, shoulders come forward. Exhale halfway. Inhale, come up. I just want you to feel your strength. So even if your elbows bend this much, feel into the strength that you're persistent with. It doesn't matter when the last time you did a practice like this was. It matters that you're here now, right? Feel the value of showing up to be of service to your own physical, mental, spiritual, and soulful essence. This time, exhale all the way to the ground. Hands reach back, feet reach back. Feet reach back. Shoulders drawn to your back, draw into your core. Inhale, rise. Feel the breath, feel the connection to you. What is your soul's promise? I have a tool that can help you out and help crystallize what you know to be true. So feel the truth of just being human right now, but that you are of something greater than we can ever truly conceive, and breathe into that. Hands under the shoulders, feet ground down, cobra or upward dog. Tune into what your body is calling for. Connect to the pelvic floor, so the space between your pubic bone, your tailbone, and your sit bones. Feel that energy drawing up and into the belly. Feel the ribs drawing and holding the diaphragm, shoulders drawing into the back of the heart, sides of the throat sliding back, roof of the mouth rising, and then melt into that energy of you. Lift through the core, tuck the toes, downward dog, not for a stretch, but walk it forward. Okay, downward dog just for the transition. Now, if you're like, what? You just shorted me my dog pose. Get to your forward bend. Hey, I know all about being stubborn, by the way. Get to your forward bend, and I want you to breathe here. How much we've cleared in that just grounded, steady flow. Lift into the core, wrap the hips, find the length, knees bend, right foot goes back. So you're in that lunge. I have long limbs. I can get my hands to the ground with ease. You can also bring your hands here. Pull the legs together, draw into the belly. And what I want you to feel is solid connection to the ground your left foot is pushing into. Draw that right leg in more. Lift into the core, shoulders to your back. Find length through the sides of the throat. I know, we stayed down, didn't we? And breathe into it. Connect to that horizontal line, that material realm in all directions. And then right hand comes to the earth, flat to the ground, shoulder to the back, find the length. Left hand to the crown of the head. I really want you to feel the connection to the top of your head. Draw in, shoulders draw back, throat opens, nose ahead, plop down. Is it like, how can you align to the expression of you? And then stretch your arm. Breathe into all of you, your whole body, your whole being. Notice where there are limitations. And how can you work with those limitations? How can you be accepting of them? Because they're going to be stubborn until you recognize them. And then exhale that hand to the earth, knee to the ground, hips slide back. And here we are, flex the foot. As you flex the foot, remember this foot was just on solid ground. Now there's space around it. There's no boundaries. So you have to pay more attention. You have to see and feel and breathe into the being that you want to be. Draw the left thigh bone back. Lift into the belly. Shoulders come into the back body. Find the shoulders in the back, the belly's lifted, and then elongating the spine. Oh yeah. Big conscious breath in, conscious breath out. And then here we go, hands and knees. One cat pose, finding all fours, round the back, chin to the chest. Inhaling, heart opens, child's pose. Breathe into you. Inhale, rise all the way up. When you breathe into the depth, okay, I want you to be fully present, to see that energy coming forward. Right leg stretches back. Widen the left foot out. Adjust anything you need, because you gotta take care of you. You don't stay stuck in what I'm offering. You gotta take care of yourself. Feet are grounded. Draw into the back. And taking care of yourself doesn't mean a spa day. Spa days are amazing. It doesn't mean going shopping. Shopping's amazing. It doesn't mean having a royal meal cooked for you, even though that's amazing. It's the little tiny details of noticing how you're placing yourself and placing yourself in a way that allows that vision to come forward. So ribs are drawing in, shoulders are drawing back. You can look up, but we tend to look up and shorten one side of the throat and overextend. So bring the palm of the head to the palm of your hand to the top of your head. Draw into the shoulders, shoulders draw back. Feel the core drawing in. Hug to that midline, hug to your center. Open the throat, find length, and then just the arm extends. Now if your elbows turned up and everything, you're gonna feel it in your shoulder. Elbow has to come forward for the head of the arm bone to move back. And breathe in to a highly accessible pose, side table. Some people call it side plank. I call it side table. But how strong you can be. We don't have to be in this momentum-filled practice to have impact and influence on our truth and on our lives. Exhaling into the earth, both knees to the ground. Find your roots and rise, downward dog. Now we've done both sides, so just stretch it out. Breathe here. Oh, shoot. Whoops. Come forward. I knew I was skipping something, and I knew I would. Draw into the belly. So maybe it's self-fulfilling. I said, you're going to forget this, and then I forgot it. So you got to be really mindful. Draw in. Elbows bend. Inhale, come up. You're moving isometrically, okay? We're really feeling the connection of muscles, and we're pulsing. Yours might just be here. You might even have your knees on the ground. Just being here, holding it, right? I'm not a fan of this because your knees are up. That's bullshit, in my opinion. That's just like doing things for everybody else. Do it for you, because then you can be of service all the way to the ground. Feet point back, hands sweep back. Inhale, rise up. Because when you please everybody else, You leave yourself in distraught, like everything you're trying to avoid by doing everything else that everybody else wants, you're just creating more of in your own world. And yes, your own world is secret, only you know what really goes on, but it's where the most valuable resource is for living soulfully. Feel the lift through the inner thighs, the shoulders drawing to the back. Lift through the core. Lengthen the pubic bone and the tailbone towards your feet. And feel both sides of the roof of the mouth, the hard and the soft, extending forward. Then hands to the earth, feet ground down. Cobra or upward dog. Make sure the weight's to the inner edges of the hands as much as the outer edge. Shoulders are drawing in. Belly is lifting, hearts open, clear through the head. Breathe life into it. And then rise up and back. Here's that dog pose. And we're gonna walk forward. See? I love downward dog if you didn't know. And so clearly my body wants it. Find both feet on the ground. Notice if you're leaning one way. It's very subtle, but you can connect. Bow, bow, bow. Inhale, find length. Give a micro bend in the knees. So you're leaning more to the balls of the feet. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound. Calves are pulling up and in. Hamstrings are pulling up and in. Outer thighs are pushing back. Outer hips are wrapping in. Belly is lifting, hands to the heart, shoulders to the back. Breathe here. I want you to think of your pubic bone and think of your tailbone. And they're kind of hugging towards each other at the same rate. Even your sit bones are hugging towards each other at the same rate. Lift up into the belly. Which side is more active? Is there an imbalance in your low back? Shoulders, ribs. Feeling the power of just being somewhere in between and sustaining that midpoint. And then inhale. Breathe into the back body. Rise all the way out. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale the arms wide. Hands come through the midline. All the way up overhead. Just feeling your breath. Arms go wide. Right? So through our simple salutation of honoring the many directions the spine can move, we can now stand more fully in our light. Feeling the rhythm of your breath. Inhale your hands to your heart center. Feeling the connection to your shin bones, to the earth, to your neck, your throat. See it to be it. The wisdom of my sweet daughter, my 12th house son. Woo. You're going to stand into the right foot and bring your left foot across. I can't do a tree pose, so I'm not going to. Bring your left ankle across the midline, so cross the right thigh. Bend the knees, sweep the belly back, okay? Make fists with your hands and bring your knuckles together. Widen your elbows, shoulders drawn to the back. Lift into the core and then sit back. Okay, so we're just pushing the hands into each other, shoulders into the back. It's giving our wrists a break. The knuckles are kind of sliding into those nice little crevices for one another. You're receiving the power of your own light back into your heart from the palms of your hands. Keep balancing, keep breathing. Sit a little deeper if you can. Thighs go back more, shoulders go back more. Lift into the belly. And then we're going to inhale and come up. Left knee comes forward. Hands come around the eye of the knee. Thighs move back again. Core draws in and twist. Shoulders into the back. We've got earth and air today. And fixed, very stubborn. We can be more detached from the motion of it all, which allows us to be productive. It allows us to see without all the troubles of the energy that impedes us from our truth. Big full breath in. And then as you exhale, come back through. We're just going to glide the foot back. Warrior one, maybe you fall over. Straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. Anchor the heel to the ground. Draw the waistline back so the hips even out, and then lunge. Bring those fists back together. Right? Elbows go wide, shoulders drawn to the back. You're going to inhale the arms overhead, pull the ribs in. As the outer hips anchor down, the back of the rib cage rises up. Lift through the roof of the mouth. It's not about the head dropping back. It's about the spine growing longer. The energy of the crown reaching up towards the palms of the hands as the energy of the pelvic floor anchors to the soles of your feet. Gracious breath in, gracious breath out. You're going to bring your left hand to your waist and straighten the right leg. You're going to keep the belly drawing in, shoulders drawing back, and sweep the left hand to the earth. Keep sweeping back. I know I took my arm up. I meant to keep it here. Right? Find that length. Be mindful of that hamstring. You might have needed to bend the knee to get there. Full breath in and a full breath out. And now exhale the right hand to the ground. Bend the knees, readjust the pelvis, and bow. Intense leg stretch. Look at your own hips. Look to your inner thighs. They're going to tell you not how you handled COVID, okay? They're going to tell you if you've got too much energy forward or too much energy backward. We want to feel steady in our hips. I had too much energy forward, then I could even my hips out and then rebalance. As you exhale, lunge forward. So much going on this right foot, okay? Lunge forward, inhale, your left leg up, pull the legs towards each other, soften the heart. So here we are, standing splits. If you need to open it up wide and bend the knee, great. But otherwise, see if you can feel the connection. Right arm's gonna wrap around the back side of your right leg. Keep drawing into the belly, shoulders to the back, hugging that back extended leg towards the midline. You gotta find that center, and if you're balanced, left hand comes and joins the right. Whew, almost fell over. Anybody else almost fell over? And then exhale, the left foot goes back. Both hands come to the earth. Notice how fixed and heavy your right foot is. Draw in, right leg goes up, bend the knee, open the hip up, circle your ankle, wiggle your toes out. Stay connected to your core. And then exhale, the foot to the earth. Inhale, plank. Knees high or low. Feel free to keep your knees up. Just find the connection. Pelvic floor, diaphragm, roof of the mouth. The domes of your being, and elbows bend. Inhale, lift. I want the domes of your being, the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, and the upper palate to move evenly. And then all the way to the ground. Feet stretch out long. Hands come by your sides. Shoulders come into the back. Inhale the right leg up. Hug it to the midline. Re-anchor it. Inhale the left leg up. Hug it to the midline. Re-anchor it. Clasp the hands behind you if you can. Shoulders draw into the back. Find length through the spine. And then inhale. If the feet come together, great. Mine don't. Shoulders come into the back. Shalabhasana. Lift more from your inner thighs. The pubic bone's not going up. It's stretching out towards your big toe. Your tailbone's not coming down to the ground. It's stretching out towards the big toe. Exhale, mount all the way down. Bend the knees, hands under the shoulders. Shoulders drawn to the back. Lift up, we're going into child's pose. What are you seeing right now? What are you seeing with your inner eye? How are you seeing your inner world? That's what matters. How you're envisioning the energy of you, and are you allowing for the assimilation, for the sacred pause? Can you go into the depth and allow the light to follow? There's a great innocence within. We want to listen to her. We want to listen for that wisdom. Stretch the arms out. Inhale, draw up onto your hands and knees. Open the heart up as you inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale, come up. You're going to move your feet. Actually, no, just tuck your toes. Rise all the way back. Downward dog. Lift into the core. Connect through the midline. Midline of your hips, of your ribs, of your shoulders, of your ears. And then walk it forward. Notice if your belly is persistent in its ability to get in the way. I know I don't have much of a belly at all, but I was pregnant at one time. I'm not saying you're pregnant at all, but at one time I was, and so that limitation of movement, and I have a firm belief it's because we haven't been taught how to connect to our souls. It hasn't been a priority. It's it's a practice for the mystics. It's for those who were traditionally ready to renounce life, and they couldn't live in and of this world. Well, times are changing. Bow into you. Notice the differentiation just within yourself, the inner experience of you. Exhale out completely. We're going to come to that midline again, that midpoint. So knees bend, calves are pulling up, outer hips are drawing in. Waistline is lifted, but don't lift the waistline so much that your tail starts to overpower your pubic bone. They're working evenly towards the pelvic floor. Make fists. You can come into Anjali Mudra. I just want to give the wrists a break. So you're making fists. Elbows go wide. So we're not in that rounded cow stretch or cat stretch, and we're not in the rounded extended cow stretch. We're finding that midpoint. We're fixated on the connection to the spine. The evenness of the outer hips and sit bones drawing in towards each other, the pubic bone and the tailbone, the core lifting. Think of where your wisdom teeth were or are, and draw that line up and out of the crown. Breathe into it. What are your toes doing? Are they taking off to outer space, or are they holding onto the earth for dear life? Exhale out completely. Inhale, rise up. Arms sweep overhead. Feel that lift, that connection. The folding through the spine. Hands come to the heart. You know, I have to share this. I'm looking out my window and how beautiful and abundant my yard is. It's our 4th spring here. I've dug in the soil immensely, and it's just beautiful. And the rain is coming down. The rain comes down in darkness to nourish the earth. So it's just this living evidence right here, right now, that we have to feel an insulation from the light and allow a saturation of the emotional realm to then feel from our roots the blossoming of our essence. And then those clouds pass, the light, the fire helps to call forward that energy up and out of the earth. Sorry, I know. Actually, I'm not sorry. So thank you for bearing with me. You're going to draw into the belly. The knees are going to bend so that the thighs go back, the outer hips tuck in, the core lifts. Remember, I thought about doing tree pose, but that leg wouldn't let me do, so we crossed over. Obviously, if you prefer tree pose, go there, and you're just not going to hinge forward. You're going to draw into the belly, outer hips sweep. So inner thighs are moving back. That's taking the pubic bone. Outer hips are hugging in. That's connecting with the tailbone. The waistline is lifting. That's connecting with the sit bones, coming towards the midline. The ribs are hugging in. The heart is softening. That's connected to the diaphragm. And then we have the roof of the mouth. We want to feel length through the spine. Knuckles come together. Shoulders drawn to the back. Feeling the breath here. Bend the standing leg. So this is at midpoint, right? You could go all the way to the earth, and some people like to, or you could just try to pick up your foot. We're in the midpoint. We're being fixed on the energy that's going to sustain us. We need all of the energy to sustain us, not just a happy, cheerful, bright, shiny future self can call us forward. We can see what we want to be, but we have to be it right now. So be in your strength. Stand in your power. Inhale, come up. Woo! Anybody else's butt on fire? As you come up, I have to be playful for my future. Leg comes up, you're going to draw in, feel the connection, hands to the knee, thighs draw back, pull into the belly, shoulders drawn to the back, and then you twist, right? We're feeling the connection, the anchoring. We're not trying to overextend ourselves, although we're doing a lot on one foot. Breathe into it. What's that right foot doing? What are your left toes doing? You can't see them, but they have a direct impact on your experience. And then inhale, come back through the center. Whew, glide the foot back. Flex the foot so your toes free up. Re-anchor. Inhale the arms overhead. Feel that connection. So draw in. Feel that hips evening out, leveling out. And then bend the front knee. My stance is too short, so I'm actually inching my front foot forward. Warrior One is so hard for me. What is it like for you guys? It is, I cannot bend any further. My back foot says, no way. I could lift the heel up and go deeper, but I want us to be grounded. And then, right hand comes to the waistline. Pull the energy back. So from your foot into your heart. Okay, it's a lot of what we're doing today. I'm just not emphasizing that line. Connect and then bow. Keep this arm right where it is. Right hand comes to the ground. Draw the shoulders into the back. My arm could not stay there. It was like, no way. Because it hits that point that I'm still healing. I'm just glad that it woke up and it said, hey, please, respect me. I'm here. It's time. So I'm using this wall because I like it and I can. You might have to bring your hand back to your low back. Maybe bring the hand to the crown of the head. Feel that connection. Shoulders are drawing in. You're moving with the core and not your vision. All right? Because that's the be it part. You got to come into that core. This is just a very awkward expression for me today. Maybe you too.
but we're staying with it. And then exhale, hand to the earth. So just the feet if need be, right? Flex the foot if need be. Anchor into the ground. And bow. Check in, remember? Look at your inner thighs. Is that back hip sweeping back too far? Is the front hip swinging out? You can look at the center line between your inner thighs. You can look to the energy of your outer hips. Breathe into it. I know it's intense. Then we're going to lunge forward. As you lunge forward, shift the weight forward. Oh my gosh. Hello, butt. Draw into the belly. So standing splits. Feel where are you splitting the energy? Okay? Connect to that. Connect to it for yourself. It's kind of like having affirmations. You got to take the alignment in and then reframe it to support you. Once your left arm wraps around the back side, both hands can come together, maybe not. My left leg says, no way, not today. I'm shaking, you guys. Anybody else shaking? Breathing. It's that earthquake energy. Step the foot back, both hands to the ground. Whoo! Left leg goes up. Bend the knee, open the hip up. Help with that blood flow. Both feet to the ground. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Knees high or low. Exhale, round the back. I think I'm out of order, but I'm just going with it. Inhale, open the heart. Find the placement of your hands, four corners of your hands. Don't let the weight all drop to the outside. We got to be steady. How are we going to sustain these connections to these practices? Shoulders to the back. You're just going to move down and come back up. That line, pubic bones moving back, tails moving in. And move with it. Move in that line. So last time I went down too far, I felt a break. I want you to stay really connected. Where's the roof of the mouth? Is it in alignment in that diagonal line with that center? All the way down. Inhale your left leg up. Hug it to the midline. Anchor it down. Inhale the right leg up. Hug it back in. Anchor it down. Hands reach back. Clasp the hands if you can. I have an injury on my left hand, so because I forgot my humanness. It was just all in my head one day. Drawn to the belly, shoulders drawn to the back, and then inhale. Lift everything up. Has anybody else ever been in or out of their humanness that they forget they could hurt themselves? Stay with the breath, stay with the connection, breathe into it. See it to be it. Whew. Exhale, melt down. Hands under your shoulders, shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale, curl up. Anybody else ready for it to be air season, not earth season anymore? Rise up all the way into child's pose. If you're not feeling this practice, then you're not engaging with the muscles. So I'm just going to pause right now. I want you to give this moment here and now a chance to expand the restoration, because we're going to finish up with a few more moments of greater conviction. Because in order to be it, we have to be convicted in our conception. Inhale, rise up onto your hands and knees. We're gonna climb forward. Feet go to the left, come seated on your right hip. Okay, and just rotate. Inhale, turn the left thigh in, and exhale, release. Just 3 times. Now as the thigh turns in, feel the belly lift. You're gonna lift up and fold over your right knee. Elbows are wide, forearms are to the ground, shoulders are drawing into the back. Instead of just letting it all go, I want you to hold the midline. So start with the diaphragm. Start in the heart center. Soften. And then find, is the tail curling down or is the pubic bone overextending? It's the tiniest little pelvic tilt right here. So you can feel where you can be balanced, right? Centered in your energy. Draw into the belly. Shoulders draw in and then connect with the head, right? The shoulders are holding in, the ribs are drawing in. What are the ears doing? The eyebrows. Like I have a dent in my left head, so I have to consider the fact that that structure in the left side of my skull is different than the structure on the right side of my skull. The bones that hold my brain. One more breath. And then exhale, completely ground into the earth. Inhale, come up. Bring the left foot forward, adjust the hips, okay? Slide the left thigh bone in, draw into the belly, and then fold forward. You place the hands that are attached to your arms, that are attached to your shoulders, that are attached to your experience, in a relationship that can help sustain the spark of your soul, but also the essence of your practice. Your livelihood depends on it. Your vitality requires you to know yourself intimately. And breathe. So it's not about just flopping in, it's about being really steady. Believe it or not, this is a very masculine way of practicing with a very feminine way of receiving, which is what we do. Earth and air energy are usually squaring off, and they're squaring off at this moment when it's fixed, at this moment with an expression of, no, my way, make it about me, no, make it about everybody. And so we have to feel the center energy of that. Inhale, rise up, because we're in the closing energy of some layers, and then we're in the opening crisis of others. I know that's complicated, but where are you just in this practice? Are you just getting back? Have you been consistent? You need a break? You need things to be different? This is all of language that we want to tap into, because we're entering in this very powerful time to see a bigger version of ourselves and humanity, because we're all being asked to do it differently now. Everybody drawn to the belly, finally through the spine, and then we're going to fold. Oh, shoot. Back up. Turn the thigh in, and then rest back. My awareness went all the way to India. It's just radical. There's nobody who's excused right now from the great transformation of humanity, of our existence on this planet. And it was just, we have to adapt. We can't be so fixated. So that's the energy of what do we have to let go of. And then we have to learn how to be more vulnerable and adaptable. And I'm telling you right now, whether you want it or not, it's coming. Draw into the belly, lean forward and fold. So we want to see, what do we want to see in the world? How are we seeing that within ourselves? How are we being it? How are we reflecting it? How are we bringing it? Bow forward. Exhale out completely, grounded to the earth. Inhale, come up. Right leg comes forward. Left leg comes in. So this is Janu Shirshasana, right? Or Ardha Paschimottanasana, however you want to say it. It's really amazing. I'm able to be here without a lot of support in my left leg. So I'm going to honor that, find length, anchor, square off, reflect in what the position is for you. And breathe into it. One of the things when we have fixed air energy, and it's very, very connected to being unique and honoring the hopes and dreams and caring for other people's children and being a bit of a rebel, is we also have to be able to listen. Listen for the individuation, but remember that we're all connected. Exhale out completely, ground into the earth. Inhale, rise up. Both feet come forward. Hips come forward. Bring yourself to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. Use your legs. I have a split, but lose strength. Head to the ground, knees into the chest. Just a reclined child's pose. Letting the whole spine come to the earth. Listen to the wisdom of your being. Feet come to the earth. For me, my feet need to go wide, knees come together. Maybe your feet need to come together and feet come together, knees go wide. You won't know unless you spend time with yourself. Arms come by your side. Ask for the body to guide you to what feels aligned. As you're on the earth, breathe into the back of the chest. In the density of our muscles, we've created a lightness in our being. You remember, did anybody ever do that kid trick? Light as a feather, stiff as a board? I know. Wild, isn't it? It's kind of the energy we've danced with. So, I remember very well things being light as a feather and being blown away. And very well things being stiff as a board. See it. To be it. See the restoration, see the healing. Be present with this energy where you're anchored and grounded, but you're light and free. You're steady in your choices to serve your soul. You're motivated of the future energy of that unique expression of freedom that works for you and for the greater good. Just as you are, breathe into the depth of your being. Just as you are, breathe into the connection of all the parts and pieces of you. Just as you are, see yourself coming up seated. See yourself being productive. See yourself being receptive to your own life and the potential and the opportunity to be in a greater alignment with your life. Because you become more of yourself. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Find a link in the spine. You're going to roll to one side. Stay there for as long as you want. And then you're going to come up into the seat that serves you. Navigating your relationship from your inner world. Your sanctuary. As you come seated, find a length in the spine. Are you dropping into the tail? As your head pops forward, find that growth and expansion and integration that allows you to sustain your soul, to sustain the spark, to sustain the hopes and dreams, a sense of security, but also to know and to trust in the unfolding and the cosmic tides and the seasons of your life, the ebb and the flow, the ups and the downs, the peaks and the valleys, the light and the dark. May the gifts of your own essence continue to reveal themselves. May you be at peace. May you be the glory. May you be the light that shines for all of us to see. May you be your brilliant, beautiful self. Namaste, namaste. Namaste, namo, namaha. And so it is. Thank you from the depth of my heart for being here. Enjoy this time to process, to integrate, and to be. And I will be with you very soon because I always show up live Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. There's a real sacred reason for that 10 a.m. It also happens to just work with the crazy rhythm of my life right now. And I will continue to do my best to share this in a way that works. And I will continue to bring forward ways to align with your soul so you can lead from that essence of your own personal self and offer in all of your relationships in a way we contribute to humanity. And so, from my heart straight to yours, namaste. And as always, there will be more to come. Be well and be you.